Hi, my name is Abhishek. I'm the head of operations at Clerk-Tech. I have more than 14 years of experience in the outsourcing industry. I have helped companies hire VAs in sales, marketing, accounting, customer support, digital marketing, anything that can be done remotely. You can hire a dedicated VA to do that job for as less as $5 per hour. Why hire a VA through us? Efficiency, cost effective, and they work in your time zone. Today I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions about hiring a VA in Canada. When I say a VA, this person is real, working from a remote location, but a dedicated one.
So Abhishek, you mentioned that you offer virtual assistants through Clerk-Tech. Where are these people based off?
All of these people are based in India. At least our virtual assistants are based in India. Every virtual assistant agency has their own host country. Some have in Philippines, some have in India, some have in Pakistan, some have in Bangladesh, China. There are many countries, even South American countries have VAs. Totally depends on what you are looking for. Totally depends on what your goals are. But at the end of the day, most of the biggest VA companies in the world are the ones that are based in India because India is the biggest outsourcing country in the world.
That's great to know. I do have a question regarding data security. How would you say our data would be secure if I were to share any personal data from my company?
Well, this is one of my favorite questions because almost every client of mine asks this question. That is, how do I make sure my data is secure? Well, any small or medium sized VA agency of more than 100 VAs should be able to give you good data security and privacy. We are more than a medium agency. We have more than 100 employees, but at the end of the day, we make sure that our clients' data is secure. Any VA agency that doesn't offer that or has not offered that in the past, you may want to take a step back before you work with them. Also, don't try to hire a VA directly. You will absolutely neglect data security and privacy. So it's very important that you work with a VA agency that provides data security and privacy. We as a company provide a secured environment within which all of our VAs are working. They have to log into that secured environment. They can only access your data within that secure environment. If they try to insert a pen drive or they try to get that information and send it somewhere else, all of that will be flagged with our IT team and we will know immediately. At the end of the day, all of your data is secure and we make sure that your data remains with you or is shared only with your employee and it doesn't get outside the system. It doesn't go to a person that is not supposed to see it.
And the next question I have is, how do I pay the VAs? Do I pay them directly or do I have a different way or easier way to manage that as well?
This is also a very common question that I get. How do I pay the VAs? I don't have an Indian account. I don't have an overseas banking account. How do I make the payment? Well, a good VA agency should charge you in the local currency. Let's say in Canada, we are a company in Canada, we will be billing you in Canadian dollars. Our branch office in US will bill you in US dollars and you only pay them in that particular currency. You don't have to worry about how the VA will be paid. You don't have to worry about what compliances you need to take care of in that country. In our case, we have a recruiting company in India that takes care of salary, benefits, taxes. So all of that is taken care by us and we pay them in Indian rupees, but we charge you in Canadian dollars or in US dollars based on your local currency. So you don't have to worry about that whole payment aspect of how to make the payment, how to manage compliances, how to take care of other HR and employment duties. All of that should be taken care by a VA agency like ours.
So my next question is, how would I know how many hours we work? Because you said, it goes as low as $5 an hour. How do I track how many hours they work?
So this is a concern that I understand. Somebody who's working remotely, you don't know how to track their hours. You don't know whether they're doing the work actually or not. And it concerns you. You may think that the price is low, but what if I'm paying for hours that are not worked at all? Well, a good VA agency like ours or any VA agency that has more than 100 employees is already providing a tracking system. A tracking system that will track the employees' hours, make sure that they are working the hours in the day, whether it's part-time 4 hours a day or full-time 8 hours a day. They should be able to send you a report at the end of the month showing the hours of each day. Now you can say that what if they are just online but they are not really doing any work that time. These tracking systems have good features where they actually track the productive hours. They also track the mouse time, they track the keyboard time, they track the websites that the virtual assistants have gone to. They even track or take screenshots of the screen. There are a lot of tracking systems in the market. You totally depends on what VA agency you're going with and what tracking system they are using, how much they are charging you. Some VA agencies track or charge separately for e-tracking system. Some VA agencies don't charge you at all and everything is included in their hourly rate. It totally depends depends on which VA agency you're going with. You can also have your own tracking systems where you can, be the admin and look at the employees' hours on a day-to-day basis, or, track the tasks that were done. There are various platforms like Monday.com, Asana, Trello. You can also track their data. You can also track the work that they are doing, the tasks that they have given them. So at the end of the day, there are multiple ways to track time, track hours, track performance. All you have to do is be vigilant and make sure that on a regular basis you are tracking time. Because this person is remote, it's only fair for you as well as for them that you consistently give some time to them, as well as make sure that they are giving the time that you are paying for. At Clerk-Tech, we don't charge the client separately. We already provide that to every virtual assistant that you hire through us. That is one of our mandates. We don't do without it. Even if the client was to say that I don't want to track hours, I don't want to track performance, we still do, because we feel that at the end of the month you shouldn't feel that you're paying for hours that they have not worked for, or you feel that sometimes you just feel it because you're not tracking it, and that's something we don't like for our clients to believe. So we always track hours, but at the end of the day, that report will be the one base to be charging you in the invoice at the end of the month, and you will not feel that you've paid for any hours that were not actually worked.
If I want to access the data, based on the tracking that has been done on a monthly basis, would I have any access to it? Or let's just say if I have a confusion regarding hours, do I reach out to you?
So if you want access to the hours, all you have to do is send an email to somebody who's your account manager. That person should be able to send you the hours for that week, that day, or for the whole month. Ideally, whenever you're getting an invoice, you should get that report, and in that report you will see all the hours. If you need admin access, that can be arranged as well, but that is something then you'll have to pay separately for that admin access, because that's another cost. It totally depends on what you need. A lot of clients like to have admin access. A lot of clients like to see the report at the end of the month. Everything comes down to what we've billed you for, and as long as they work the hours that we've billed you for, I think you should be good.
One more question that I have here, Abhishek, for you is, what if something goes wrong with my VA?
If something goes wrong with the VA with respect to their performance, you're not happy, if they've performed well in the interview round, but when during the work time or during your productive hours, they're not doing the work that you expect out of them, or maybe the results that they're giving are not up to the mark, not what you expected out of this, or not what probably the VA agency told you. In that case, we at Clerk-Tech make sure that we find you a replacement immediately. We don't wait for you to keep trying and keep exploring till the point that you completely are frustrated. If you have some concerns, you reach out to us. If we feel that that concern is big enough to stop service with that particular virtual assistant, we make sure that we find you a replacement immediately. Typically, finding a replacement takes anywhere between 3 to 5 working days. So within a week, you should be good and you should be up and running with a new virtual assistant working for you. Again, the whole process goes through 500 plus applicants applying. We go over each and every applicant, interview more than 100 people. Then you get a chance to interview the top 5 people that we've shortlisted based on the skill set and experience that you were looking for. We make sure that they have amazing communication skills in English particularly. So we've done a lot of due diligence before we even share that shortlist with you. 99% all the shortlisted people would be an absolute match to your requirement, but we still give you that final touch where you can do the final round of interview and then select that one person that you feel is the best for the role. It is literally finding the needle in the haystack. Anything even after this goes wrong, which is less than 5% chance, but if that happens, we are here. We will make sure that we find you another match. Going through the whole process again, doesn't matter how much time it takes, doesn't matter how much effort we have to put, but we know that this is a long-term dedicated virtual assistant going to be working with you. You only work with the right person, and no matter how many attempts it takes, we will find you the right person. Thank you so much. If you would like to see more such informational videos, please like, subscribe and click on the bell icon. If you would like to hire a virtual assistant through us, please go to our website clerk-tech.com.